That's how we get trolls. Speaking of trolls, I mean they're vampires, but they look like trolls.
They said that I was the bait.
Hello, my little Luxes. Welcome back to another Luxy Charms, and I'm your host, Trusty Lux. And today I am continuing on with my wonderful new reaction commentary type of idea. It's not really an idea or anything, but I am next going to react to the second episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And good timing for it too, because the other one ends on a cliffhanger with the to be continued type of idea. They used to love doing that back in the 90s. So anyway, decided that I was going to continue on because it was a very stressful week last week. And the fact that I didn't get anything done that I wanted to get done last week, and I had started my new job and everything. But anyhow, just wanted to do something that was stress-free, something that was fun and entertaining. So I'm like, you know what, I'm going to continue on with Buffy, because I would love to do the next Masters of Horror episode, but I need to put a little bit more time and research into those ones. And I just didn't have that type of time in that. Whereas with Buffy, I'm having fun just watching it and reacting to it. Not doing any deep diving, not doing big research or anything like that. Over time, I might get around to doing that type of stuff. But anyway, so spoiler alert and viewer discretion is advised. That obviously, if you've never seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer before, be forewarned, I am going to be spoiling things, I'm going to be talking about the show. I react to this show as if acting like you have seen it as well. And I have seen this show so many times. In fact, you'll see through my reaction in that I end up saying a lot of things that, especially the evil character Luke, I end up saying his lines just before he ends up saying them. So it's just more funny than anything, where I'm like, look, I kind of remembered apparently. Or it's just that predictable. But anyway, let's just jump into this. Let's go ahead and join me, have fun, as we watch the second episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Alright, we are going to jump right into it due to the fact that I shouldn't have to give an intro for starting this, so let's get started on the second episode for Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Did a few of my testers, seeing how everything looks and sounds. I got my brand new microphone. So, and of course I'm still using my phone, so I still have to get the attachment piece in order to hook up my camera so that I can run it through my OBS program. You know how it goes with technology. It's not something simple. I can't just have a cord and hook it up to my computer and just have it run. No, I have to have a special specific cord so that that can hook up to the computer, and it basically sends whatever type of signal to let the camera connect with it while I'm recording. So I don't know, it's all Greek to me in the long run. So let's get started with this one. We of course ended on the cliffhanger with the to be continued. So let's see how everything pans out, and let me make sure it looks like everything is running well. So fingers crossed that we don't have glitches, that I don't have many phone calls coming in, because the do not disturb does not work on my stupid phone. So we'll see how many breaks I have to take. And you know what? I decided to go with Buffy for a feel-good type of situation after the week I had. I'll be doing a Charcy chat, so you'll be able to hear about everything. But anyway, enough of me yapping, because that never happens. Come and join me for this episode. due to YouTube's extremely strict copyright issues, the full reaction of this show is available on my Patreon. Otherwise, enjoy this very shortened version here. Enjoy! She is the chosen one. It looks a little romantic there for a second. Oh no, Willow! Because being the Slayer never stops. Especially when you're in a cemetery. Nothing like a makeshift
Are you okay?
type of Mr. Pointy.
Where's Jesse?
Because remember, anything can be a wooden stake. By the way, they don't make intros like they used to. Or at least anytime I hear it, I'm automatically going to think of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It began as a hellscape. I'm pretty sure it still is. Is it technically hell for them, though, if it's home? There's a funny thing to note, because obviously not that long ago, I did The Cabin in the Woods, kind of for a movie review, but obviously I did it for an FFB movie night where I was the host and did the research on that. You have them talking about the old ones and talking about old gods or demons, demonic ones. So it's interesting that that type of mythology stuck with Joss Whedon. And I mean, when you do for years, because I mean, obviously we had the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the actual movie back in the 80s, and then in the 90s it became the television series, and then he moved it into his comic books. He studied this type of mythology for how many years? Of course, it's easy to incorporate into other works. So when you dedicate yourself and you love a certain subject for so long, that it's kind of interesting to note what ended up going into The Cabin in the Woods, because he was the writer for that. Jingle, I'm still gonna have my jewelry. So he's still going to take that idea for being a writer, because he wasn't the director for that. For this, he's the creator. Television series are weird. You'll have different writers, you'll have different directors, but then for the shows, they call him the creator. So Joss Whedon's the creator of Buffy. So him being a writer, which when they first started, him and Drew Goddard started writing for it, because he originally worked with Drew Goddard on several episodes on Buffy. So them working well together was how they kind of came up with the idea of doing The Cabin in the Woods. And it ended up being so much more than what they thought it was going to be, to where Drew Goddard wanted to be the director. Joss Whedon had then decided, no, this is going to be so much more amazing than I thought. I want to direct, but Drew stuck to his guns, which, thank God. And I mean, obviously, I love Joss Whedon's works. Obviously, we're still upset and not happy with him for his downfall and all the shit that came out about him, which at the end of the day, that it becomes public perspective and everything. Never went to court or anything like that. So it's one of those things where it's the age-old saying of love the art, hate the artist. And with Joss Whedon, so many people who came out about him all of a sudden have retracted, and it's the most bizarre thing. So over time, I'll probably talk more about stuff as I start doing research on that. Boy, I went off on a tangent. Let's get back to the show here. 3 minutes in.
Just guys in Thunder needed a facial. Or maybe they had rabies. It could have been rabies.
In denial. She does not want to be the Slayer for obvious reasons. I need to get my hands on the movie.
I need to sit down.
I should do a movie review on that one. And kept spreading. Like the plague. Poor Jesse. Everybody forgot about Jesse. They're so young. It's so funny seeing them so young. And I grew up with them, mind you.
I'm your
Eric
faithful dog.
Belfour? Is it
You
that?
bring me scraps.
Buffy?
I didn't mean...
I have waited.
And Julie
When you
Benz
come,
was her
you know
name.
I am stuck here,
Is her name.
here in this house of...
That is not a premonition. We're not going by that.
And there was a girl.
A chosen
She fought
one.
well, and she knew of our breed. Maybe
Brian Thompson, that's the one that plays Luke.
And that would
He's
be
been
a
in a lot of
what?
horror too.
As long as
Especially
there's been
Creepshow.
vampires, there's been the Slayer.
Julie Benz.
The Slayer
Yeah,
hunts vampires.
Eric Balfour.
Buffy is a Slayer. Don't tell anyone.
And I love him in Haven.
Vampire information you need?
I should cover
Except for
Haven
one
at some
thing.
point.
How do you kill them?
Jesse is my responsibility. I let him get taken.
That's not true.
Yes, you did. How dare you?
Us too.
All because of your denial.
Breathe. This big guy Luke.
We didn't say they went
Oh, they're in a hidden
Vampires usually
cave.
jam on sewer
To the
systems. You can get
Batmobile.
anywhere in the entire town
Or the
without catching any
Batcave.
rays.
There may be another way.
Ah, smart Willow.
A Slayer.
Have you any proof? She mustn't be allowed to interfere with the harvest.
Well, that definitely
Would
wasn't
never
a
let that
Slayer,
happen.
because they're
Don't
only
worry about
female.
it. We have something she wants.
Poor
If she
Jessie.
is a Slayer,
No, you bait.
congratulations, you've just been upgraded to bait.
Ah, look at that. It's been a while since I've watched that, but, you know, when you watch something so long, it's kind of predictable. Let's
There it
be
is.
fair.
That runs under the graveyard. I sort of stumbled on
Our little hacker.
when I accidentally decrypted the city council's security system.
Ah, it's clicking now.
What?
He was already there.
I was facing
Ding,
the
ding,
entrance.
ding.
He came from behind me and he didn't follow me out. The access to the tunnels is in the mausoleum.
There we
The
go.
girl must have. God, I'm so mentally challenged.
No,
plan?
you're
Saddle up,
young.
That's fine. I'm less than a man.
Yeah, that's
Buffy,
always
I'm
where
not
teenage
anxious
boys
to
go in
into
their
a dark
mind.
place full of monsters,
I'm not good
but I
enough.
do want to help.
Ah, you're not the Slayer. British wasn't it?
Welcome to the new world.
I want you to go on the net.
Oh, sure, I can do that.
That internet thing. The
I'm outta here.
interwebs. So, interesting thing to note, this school has been used in a lot of different movies, TV shows, and for whatever reason, I always remember that this school was also used on that comedy, Not Another Teen Movie. So, if you're watching this set and then you watch Not Another Teen Movie, you'll notice that it's the exact same school, the exact same setting. I'm positive it's that one. So, it's just funny to note. If I remember to find it and look it up, I'll add clips from that silly movie and compare it with this one. If I remember. I mean, we know how much my brain can go, bloop, forgot, so sorry. So if you're seeing it, it's right here. And if you're not, it means I forgot, so I'm so sorry.
Where do we think we're going?
Running away.
Me. Just admire
Getting
the
some
fence,
fresh
dishes,
air.
quality fence work.
Do you see where I'm going with this?
Nope.
Mr.
Spell it out.
Jones.
Nobody leaves
I don't know a
campus
single
while
school
is
that
safe.
has this.
I'll be
Maybe
clear.
because I'm from a small town,
Clear.
Midwest type of idea.
That's what I wanna
Let me know in the
ask.
comments, have
Sensible
any of
girl
you
with
experienced
feet on the
anything like
ground.
this? Like, did your school, like, lock you in? Or I should say from the 90s. Poof! She's on the other side anyway. I get it nowadays because, unfortunately, with all the shit going on in the world and with schools, that most schools go into lockdown mode. But in the 90s, that wasn't a thing.
Anything that'll lead us to vampires. Like an idiot, just standing. We should get the
He thinks he's so sneaky. It is one of those interesting things to take note for both of them. Obviously, in my adult brain, now looking back on it, where it's like Xander's kind of making it about himself, that he's this worthless young man, and that he can't do anything, he can't help. And then the same thing with Willow, where it's like both of their thought processes is to be there with her, to help her. Whereas in the long run, obviously for years it's been that it's the chosen one, it's only them, that nobody's ever thought of the process of building up an army themselves of people that can fight with the chosen one, fight with the Slayer. But it's also funny watching Xander and his young counterpart, where he's got the whole idea of he feels useless and worthless, and he's moping about it, where it's like, boy, this isn't about you. This is literally not about you. Stop making it about you. Where it's like, okay, now I'm finally understanding, because there were certain people out there that just despise Xander, and it was explained to me because of this, because I love all the characters. I love all the characters. Granted, with Xander, I did get mad at him because of in future episodes what he ends up doing to Anya, because Anya is my favorite character. right behind Anya is Spike. So obviously I'm gonna do spoilers at the beginning and everything, but obviously Xander breaks Anya's heart, and I'm very angry with him about that type of thing. But I think I'm going to be watching this in a different perspective, because I had a friend who talked about the fact how much she despises Xander. Loves all the other characters, but Xander just rubbed her the wrong way. And it was because of stuff like this. Like, immediately he makes it about himself and gets upset type of deal. When it's like, Buffy's already dealing with enough. She doesn't need to deal with your moping ass right now. Stop making it about yourself. So, but, you know, I digress. Young minds, and I'm pretty sure this is how I thought as a teenager too, and to be fair, as a teenager, everything is about yourself. I'm pretty positive if I would have been in the same situation, I probably would have been like, what do you mean I can't help? Does that mean I'm useless? Does that mean I'm worthless? So I give a little bit more grace. But anyway, back to the movie. Back to the show.
Squeak, squeak, squeakums.
Well, my drink's definitely at least helping and giving me the pep in my step I needed. Trying to get better at, pausing at parts to give my full explanations to things instead of getting distracted and going back and forth. Granted, like I said, I'm okay with interrupting Buffy because it's almost like the idea of commentary that, and I'm being cheeky at the same time while watching it because I've watched this so many times and I just assume that everybody else has seen this a million times. Can't imagine why, Angel.
Why not?
I knew you'd figure out this
Buffy
entry way
relates.
sooner or later.
Sorry you had to wait.
Condescending much?
Okay.
If she could actually, feel vampires like she's supposed to be able to and detect them, she'd know exactly what Angel was immediately.
Potential friend.
Nah.
That wasn't supposed to be a stumper.
Because the Hellmouth is underneath the school. There are some people that hate the first season of Buffy, but I still love and appreciate it. Time to go down the creepy staircase. That's way too nice of a staircase to be going behind a mausoleum, I must say. It needs to be a little more decrepit. Cute little rat. Squeak, squeak, squeak comes again. You know what? Buffy is the character of thinking of the movie Clueless mixed with supernatural badass slayer. All the right shoes and all the best clothes. Buffy was an icon back in my day. Technically, she should still be. By the way, I think today is Sarah Michelle Gellar's birthday, so happy birthday to Buffy! Now that I'm thinking about it, somebody had put up a post saying it was Sarah Michelle Gellar's birthday today.
What are you doing here?
Something stupid.
Of course, Xander followed.
Do nothing.
Go away.
No.
Xander, you're gonna have to.
He was supposed to be at school, not at home.
No, that's what I gotta do.
See, he's not at home doing nothing.
Okay, so cool. Of course, I don't actually have any of these.
I was about to say, did you even bring any of that? No.
So what else?
What else would?
Quiet.
For
You have to be
vampires,
quiet.
And all I had was a little X-Acto knife.
Mm.
You're not loving this story.
Beheading somebody with an X-Acto knife. Woohoo!
It's alive.
I mean, makeshift weapon? Blah, blah, blah. Makeshift weapons. Of course it's tonight.
Last night. Because I ran into Buffy.
It's time for the rumors. Yes, because she attacked you.
This part wrong.
She's doing something else.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
'Cause
and then
Willow's
how
better.
did I, right? Because she's a psycho loony.
Because you don't have your story straight.
You don't even know her.
Go, Willow, go.
Excuse me?
It's not a private discussion if you're saying it out loud in a
Okay.
public place.
I think the program's done.
Deliver. Deliver? Where's that? Oh.
Deleted! It was fun to do that to people in games too. I can't remember what the button was now. My hubby would say it immediately, but you could tell them it was like Alt F. Maybe it was Alt F4. And it would close out the program somebody was in. So if you were in a game and you wanted to fuck with somebody that was being an asshole, you would tell them to hit Alt F4. I don't think that's the right thing, but just a saying, and it would just close the program and they'd lose everything they were doing. Lose their entire save game. That's how we get trolls. Speaking of trolls, nah, I mean they're vampires, but they look like trolls.
They said that I was the bait.
Hint, hint. Nudge, nudge.
Oh, no.
No other way out.
See? Looks like a troll. Oh, definitely looks like a troll. That room looks suspicious. Aw, Jesse's a troll now. Oh, is it gonna do another ad?
Jesse.
Ah, didn't do an ad again.
Sorry?
Thanks, Doobie.
Xander.
The half fiend. No, unfortunately he doesn't. He's a vampire now.
Get out of my face.
Whee! When you hit a motherfucker with another motherfucker. Just a little bit. Yeah, but Xander, how are you gonna get up there? I guess Buffy can throw you up there. Everybody's bending metal. No time to think, just go. Sunshine. They're safe now, right? Right? Burning. Fire hot.
She escaped.
Nah,
She walks free. You are all weak.
it's their
It has been too
job
long since
to
you
be
have
the
faced
weaklings.
Slayer.
Bye, Colin.
You're sorry.
Or was that premature of me?
There.
Nah, I can say bye, Colin.
Find anything of interest?
No walkie-talkies?
I think maybe.
Go on.
Great
Well, they sound like
research,
the kind of
Willow. That is the appropriate
blood.
thing for it. Because obviously, it's not great that a bunch of people died. Is it time for a candlelit party with vampires? Don't get too excited. They're not going to dance in the nude or anything like Transylvania. Boo. He was very dry
Is
today.
your blood.
Ah, we're kind of doing
My
a
body is your instrument.
Christian reference here. Blood of my blood, body of my body.
This
Did you find Jesse?
Unfortunately.
Worse.
A vampire! Time to freak out.
Got anything that could make this day any worse?
Oh yeah, just a little bit.
About the end of the world.
No,
Thanks,
I can't.
Giles.
Break free and open the portal.
Gee, I wonder if that's Luke.
The minion is called the vessel.
Hi. You want to jump up? Come
He
here.
bears this symbol.
I dust anyone sporting that symbol and no harvest.
My sweetie.
Flies.
You gotta chew on everything, huh? You gotta just chew on everything. By the way, Callie thinks she's a dog. She doesn't think she's a cat. She thinks she's a little puppy. Yes, she does. She thinks she's a puppy.
Mom, you're going out?
She looks like a Pomeranian.
I didn't hear you come in last night.
Of course
I gotta
it
call
is,
from the
Mother.
principal.
You know better
Says you
than
missed some
that.
class.
I love that jacket she's wearing.
But I have to go.
This
I
is
know.
not the time to be
If you don't go
the
out, it'll be the
uncool
end of the
mom.
world.
Mom!
F-
Out the window she goes. Whee! All the old stuff. Alright, how much cat hair did you leave with me? Oh, she's even got the wafers. I had a friend who used to sneak out of her house all the time. Not for the same reasons as Buffy. Hers was very self-centered, Reese. She liked to go and hook up with people. Once again, places like this did not exist. Because now knowing, because it's like, this is a bar. This is a bar setting. Yet, the Bronze is supposed to be set up for high schoolers, and it's supposed to be non-alcoholic drinks. But then again, when they're all in college by season 4, they're still coming to the Bronze and hanging out. And by then, it is a bar at that point. So, it's just the weirdest thing when trying to think, is this a hangout place for teenagers or is this a bar, especially with the live band and that kind of stuff. Like, I can see something like this existing in LA and Chicago and that type of stuff, but the 90s was different. Maybe it was one of those things, if you were a certain age, you could still get into these bars, but you had to have a special, like, wristband if you were 21 and over and could drink. I don't know. It's just my 2 cents on it. But it's like, places like this did not exist where I was at. So let me know if you live anywhere where something like this was a thing, especially back in the 80s and 90s, that type of thing, because I was a kid in the 90s. So obviously I wasn't at this wonderful age to be able to go out and do this kind of stuff. And by the 2000s, when I was a teenager, it was completely different environment. Granted, yes, it's only a decade difference and that type of thing, but that's just how it is and how it was. So, but it would have been really amazing to have something like this. But I can't imagine how much trouble my friends would have gotten in, because my friends were getting into trouble anyways. Or maybe they wouldn't have gotten in trouble because they would have had somewhere to go and hang out. Just my 2 cents.
Cars. I just am not the
Not
type to
cars.
settle, you know. It's
There
like
it
when I go
is.
shopping. Miss Motormouth, can I get a sentence finished?
No. She's the person I avoided in high school. She's the person I avoided even in junior high. Being a teenager sucked. Oh, and Jesse's a vampire now, so now he's got swag. She's not gonna know what to do.
Shut up.
Well, just one dance.
It's showing the whole concept and idea of confidence. That this is a attractive young man. Eric Belfour is a very attractive man. And even looking at him, he's a cute guy, even when he was, well, I mean, he's always been a cute guy. He's still a cute guy. So it goes on the whole idea of confidence, is that obviously you see the difference between how he approached her, that instead of stuttering and everything, even though he still was taking a chance, he still was being brave and going and talking to her and trying to get her attention. Then you see this result of she thinks she's going to tell him off and be like, yo, loser, what do you think you're doing? When he's just spewing confidence and being like, shut up and just dance with me type of attitude. So just little things to note where it's the whole idea of this is why high school sucks so much. It's like, if you don't have any confidence whatsoever, they will eat you alive. And they know it. The popular kids, they know it. And they eat you. Literally eat you alive. So it wouldn't matter if, like, having confidence or not. That's all it takes. Oh, yeah, it's the first time they're going to overtake the bronze. I'm not sure if I got my point across at the end there. I kind of stumbled through my words. It's the idea of, as long as you had confidence, you could get through anything and everything. It's the whole idea and saying of, if you go into a place and act like you belong there, people won't ask questions on that. It would be the same thing through junior high and high school. As long as you had confidence and you didn't care about what other people thought of you and this and that, they couldn't eat you alive, because if you didn't care, you didn't care. And if you exuded confidence, they would react to that in the same way, because obviously Cordelia is a very confident person and thinks very highly of herself, so she would want somebody that would be very assertive with her, and we see how that happened. So hopefully I got my point across. Look at that makeup job, man. I'm sure, man. Well, now your dinner. Ah, yes, because of the harvest. That's what's going on here.
There is no cause for alarm.
But there is cause for alarm, you
Actually, there
liar!
is cause for alarm.
Ah!
Any good.
I keep doing that. I swear, I haven't watched this in how long. Granted, yes, I did watch it a ton.
It is also the last one.
Especially back in college. This was my comfort show. Of course it's the bouncer. He needs a red shirt, though. If we're gonna get this nerd shit right, let's get it right. He needs a red shirt. Gotta love that everybody's just watching the horror show and not doing anything about it. Time for Buffy to kick the door in. To be fair, she wasn't in her room that long after she got grounded.
Don't go wild bunch on me.
Apparently it was just enough time.
No joy.
Jesse is dead. He's no more.
Remember that when you see him,
He's a troll now. He's a vampire. I just like calling them vampire trolls.
Give me more!
I have the power! Aw, Jesse didn't have his confidence there. even in death, Jesse still wanted Cordelia. I mean, we get more hints about that type of idea of their personality still kind of being the undertone. Especially when you find out Spike's story.
I need another!
Vessel.
Another! I don't think they want to be the sacrifice. That guy has had that same face. Like, seriously. He's had that same face since they broke into the building. Whee! Time to crash this party, man. Remember, anything wooden can become a steak. Kinky! You might be slightly stronger because of the ascension thing. Well, his tie to the master. She dropped Mr. Pointy.
Hurry!
How dare you lose your weapon? Yeah, why wasn't anybody trying to make for the door in the first place? There's only one vampire on one of the doors? Whee!
Heads up.
Don't lose your head! Nah, Jesse still wants Cordelia.
Hold still!
Nah.
You're not making this easy.
Now.
Buddy.
Hey, buddy.
I always wanted to kill a slayer.
It's still not gonna happen, buddy. Here comes
Jesse.
Darla.
There's still a part of you in there. I'm a new man.
Esther.
You mean new vampire? It's acid, it's not holy water. Surprise!
You don't have the gun.
There's that. Bye, Jesse.
Sunrise.
Tricked you.
It's in about 9 hours, moron.
As a vampire, he should have known that. Aw, the poor master doesn't get to come out. Too bad, so sad. No! Damn those kids! And I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those meddling kids. Ah, Angel. So useless in helping. Especially at the beginning. Watch your step. What was that watch your step sign there for? Kind of an odd spot. Oh, I wouldn't think so. People like pretending like it's not real.
Which is just too weird.
See?
I mean, I don't even remember that much.
No, you don't.
Forget what they can't.
Believe me, I've seen it happen.
Well, I'll never.
It's still weird, and I mentioned it in the first episode, that something that serious going on where people have died, that they aren't closed at least for a day on the school. And I mean, I know this isn't supposed to be like that big of a town, and obviously it's not LA, because obviously in LA you can't close down the school every time that somebody dies. But if someone dies on the property, I feel like the school should be closed down and the police should be there. And the same thing with the Bronze being attacked and several people being drained of blood and killed. I feel like the school wouldn't be open. But I think that's the whole idea on the premises, that because of the supernatural and with vampires and that, it's supposed to be the idea that people can't see this as reality and they just find ways of accepting it, like what you saw with Cordelia, where she just said that it was a bunch of freak shows that looked funny, even though she knows one of them was Jesse. It's just, well, then again, she didn't think much of Jesse to begin with, but so yeah, it's weird and bizarre to me looking back on it now. Like, why wasn't the school closed for the fact that, and I mean, this would be Monday, because that was supposed to be Friday, and they went through the whole weekend, and it's all just forgotten. It is little things, little tiny things like that. But obviously, they're going with the idea on the plot line, like what Buffy says, is that what did you expect? What did you imagine? That everything just goes back to normal type of idea.
Next time?
Next time is why?
We prevented the master
Because
from
it's
being
gonna
himself.
keep happening. Oh,
Next threat,
darling
next
Willow, if
episode,
only you knew
I
what
can
was to
hardly wait.
come.
and its total destruction.
You know, the
Well,
first
I
two
gotta look on the
episodes
bright
really
side.
do feel like
Maybe
a
I can send
movie.
it kicked out of school.
If you have
Oh,
time
yeah,
together,
that's
they
the plan.
really
The
are
Buffaloes are not hellmouths.
a
Maybe
movie.
you could blow something up.
Buffy has
Sensitive
friends this
nonsense.
time.
The Earth is doomed.
Doomed! And I hope you enjoyed that reaction with me. It didn't seem like I had too many glitches or problems this time, so I'm not sure what the difference was with this one. Who the hell knows anymore of why my phone does what it does? Because yes, I did record on the phone, although I kind of mentioned it, not at the intro. I mentioned it before I hit play for Buffy and all that. So it's interesting what I can remember, what I talked about and what I was doing. But anyway, so what I needed to explain is that I'm going to use my camera, my actual physical camera that I got because if you remember when we got all those stimulus checks and that kind of stuff, me and my hubby went and got a really decent camera. And I used to record with that back when I did my other podcast and all that, but I stopped using it. Well, whatever piece I had originally had to connect it to my computer, to connect it to the OBS system, or maybe we connected it to something else, I'm not sure. Or maybe it's because I used it for Zoom. That could be too. It just was able to just plug it straight into the computer and do it that way. I don't know. But I need a certain piece to connect to it so that it can connect to my system in a certain way to be able to connect and talk to the OBS system so that I can record from that. And then I'm going to have the fun of that the battery's only good for like 45 minutes to an hour, so I need to change the battery consistently. So no matter what, I'm always going to have weird problems and glitches, and wouldn't you know it, most of these videos when I make them are about an hour or so long because the episodes themselves are about 40 to 45 minutes long. So we shall see how things go and everything. So I have that I'm going to do. I at least have my nice new microphone, so I'm very excited and happy to be able to use this. But for example, it picks up sound everywhere, so I have my heater off this time. Granted, I can't keep doing that all year round, and the same thing with when it gets hotter and I'm going to have the AC running. I'm just gonna have to work around it. It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff to figure out and everything, so we'll keep trying to figure it out. I don't know if I learn anything. I really don't know if I learn anything on this. I just stumble around and pretend like I know what I'm doing. How about that? So I feel so much better today. And like I said, I'm going to do a Charcy Chats. I'm going to talk about last week for going back to work and just the difference between being in an office again and just feeling mentally drained after everything. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me here on another Luxy Charms, and I hope you enjoyed this. And let me know, what do you think of Buffy? And like I said, I love Buffy so much. It is still one of my comfort shows. It is still one of my comfort shows. At least I could talk through most of this one. To be fair, I could actually talk. I'm the opposite, apparently. It's the same thing with the full moon. That it's like certain people, when the full moon comes out, people that are normal, average people start losing their minds, and then people that are like me with ADHD and other weird shit, we start getting more normal. Maybe that's why I can talk a little bit better, because it was a full moon on Saturday, so. Anyway, whatever, as I ramble on, let me know what was your thoughts on this one. And remember, I am the afterlife of the party, but I would love for you to join me in the afterlife of the party. And if you are here with me on my Patreon, you are a part of the afterlife of the party, and thank you so much for being here. And on the screen, you can see a shout out to all of my fellow members here on Patreon, and a huge shout out to all of my Ultimate Luxes. So thank you so much to Chris Bruner, Bishop, and Joshua Sanchez. Thank you for being Ultimate Luxes with me. And, you know, I could do the whole slay thing. Slay, subscribe, like, and always be yourself. Because, like I said, I've been posting these also on YouTube as well. But the dumbed down version because of copyright and everything. And you know what? YouTube pisses me off so much, and I could go on a whole rant about them. In fact, I just went on a rant about them not that long ago, but I could always go on a rant about them. And my latest one would be the fact that even though I'm not monetized, and according to them, I'm not even close to being able to monetize, but if my videos get over 100 views, there are still ads popping up on my videos. I don't make any AdSense off of it. I don't make anything on it because according to YouTube, I can't be monetized. But you better believe that YouTube is making money off of those ads that are on my videos and that type of thing. So I feel like if I can't be monetized, they shouldn't be able to put ads on them. But, you know, I digress. We could talk about it in casino rules, that the house always wins and YouTube is the house and that type of case. But anyway, remember that your mental health is just as important as your physical health, and I am living proof of it. And of course, as I work through adjusting to my new workload and that, I don't think that this week will be as bad because I only work 3 days. I'm only supposed to be part-time because I want to keep doing this stuff at the same time, and I want to be in a good mood as well. Because working with the public sucks. We can flat out say that. No matter what, working with the public sucks. But anyway, until next time, my little Luxes, have a Luxy Charms kind of day. Bye! Hey, it's being kind of weird. Alright, hello. Let's see how sound is for this. Have this all the way up. Granted, I probably can turn this a little down. But anyway, until next time, my little Luxes, have a Luxy Charms kind of day. Bye!